Hi everyone. So regular viewers will know that I'm always saying, oh, I don't want to be standing in my borders this time of year. So here we are in February. But I'm going to make an exception for the job that I want to do today. And that is I am going to thin out this shrub here. It's called Physocarpus. It's beautiful. I'll put some footage from last year when it was in leaf to show you what it looks like. So yes, you can see it's very beautiful. It's one of the oldest shrubs in my garden. We moved in here about 16 years ago now, and this was one of the first shrubs I put in, and I have never touched it in that 16 years. So you can see it's not very fast growing, and I think it's probably at its maximum height and girth now, because it says that it grows to 3 meters high, so I think it's probably there. If I was going to take down the height of the shrub, or maybe the girth of the shrub, by taking some of the branches off, I would actually have to wait until the leaves had come out, the flowers had finished, and then go in, a bit like a Weigelia, because this shrub will flower on last year's wood. And if I was to prune these branches back at all, I would lose the flower this year. But I don't want to do that anyway. What I want to do is, the shrub has become very sort of congested, and I want to take out approximately a third of the branches from the middle of the crown of the plant. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the oldest branches. The way I can sort of roughly tell that is the newer the branches, like these ones here, I don't know whether you can tell, they are a nice brown color, whereas the older ones, I can tell when I'm looking at my kitchen window at this, it's got a lot of very pale wood in the middle. It's got a lot of very thick branches in the middle, stems. That's obviously another way I can tell that they're the oldest ones, because they're so much thicker than the new ones. And the thinking behind the thinning out of your shrubs is that it allows more air circulation, which is always a good thing in your plants. It also gives you the opportunity to get in, and if there are any stems that are crossing and rubbing at each other, that will cause wounds and it would let disease into your plant. So if you can get in and take out some of those older branches, that's a good thing. By taking out approximately a third of the branches this year, my hope is that you won't even know afterwards that I've been in and cut the plant. I don't want it sort of ravaged. I want it to be the same height. I want it to be the same width. But then if I do another prune next year and take out another third of the oldest branches, and then the year after that another third, so then by when it starts to flower in 2027, I'll basically have a whole new shrub, but it'll be all new stems. It'll be the same height, it'll be the same girth. And the reason I don't want to take anything off the height or the width of the shrub is because it provides a much needed screening for the garden. I'll show you why. So this is the view through our side gates into our garden, and even with no foliage on, you can see how much privacy that shrub gives us. So when that is in full leaf and flower, you can't see anything beyond there. So when we're sitting out having a cup of tea or whatever, or the children are playing, nobody can see from the side of the drive. Right, so here goes. So this is why I want to get this done now, because already you can see there are loads of bulbs coming up. So I'm being very careful where I position my feet. Right, so we're down here. So these stems are a nice dark brown. These are the ones that I think I'll take out, particularly the ones in the middle. So like him there, maybe him. Anyway, I'm just going to go slowly and surely, and I'm going to take out maybe, I don't know, maybe about 4 or 5 of those big thick stems. So I think I'll take out the very middle one. And hopefully, after I've done it, you'll not even notice that I have pruned it. Right, I'm going to go and get my gardening saw. Right, so change of plan. I've got my gardening saw here because the loppers, I don't know whether they need sharpening, but it's sort of making a bit of a mess of the stem that I'm trying to cut. There, that's much better. Right. I'll show you at the end how much I've cut out. Step back and have a look. See which other one I can take out. I think I'll take this biggest, oldest branch out. So I'll just show you close what I can see. So this is the stem that I'm taking out, and if you follow it up, look how it's sort of intertwined with this stem here. I can part them, but the advice is that if you've got stems like that touching each other and crossing each other, so you can imagine in my windy garden these blowing, and they will rub at each other and cause wounds, and that's how you can get canker, like a disease in the shrub. Not that I've had any bother with this shrub, but anyway, right, onwards and upwards. I can tell just by the thickness of his stem that he's one of the oldest ones. And I think now that the tree's gone, this shrub will have a new sort of lease of life as more sort of a specimen shrub. It'll be a big feature of this part of the garden now that it's not in the shadow of the tree. Because what I had noticed is one year this shrub was full of blossom, full of flowers, and then the last couple of years I haven't really noticed it as much. And I think giving it a prune like this will encourage it to produce newer shoots with new flowers on. Certainly down here you can see this stem here is growing almost horizontal, and it's growing right through this stem here. So I would maybe take this top one off. So yes, I'm going to cut this one off here. Because he is crossing a number of branches. He's crossing this one and he's crossing this one up here as well. That was quite easy. Oh, it's very entangled. There we go. Don't mind this one growing out here. But I hope you agree. You can't really tell that I've been in there and cut it back. So I think I've been very sensitive with it. Let's have a little closer look, and I've got to be so careful where I'm standing. Yeah, I just think it looks a lot more open in there. So there we go, a good day's work. So if you've got a shrub that you're thinking, oh, that does look a bit congested, I think this is a very good time of the year, very early in the year, to get in and do a thinning out prune, not reducing the size of the shrub prune, for all the reasons I said prior. And I know for a fact it is much easier thinning the plant out before it gets its foliage on. If you have a look, I think I've got a video out on pruning back a spirea. Definitely have a look at the one on the Wigelia. That's one where I took it right down after it had flowered. And once the foliage is on, it really is quite difficult to see what you're doing, where you're cutting. So, right, it's actually quite freezing cold. So I'll say goodbye. Stay warm and happy gardening. Bye.